I was just saying, I didn't realize I was deafened, but I was just saying that I'm going to be joined by the casting jersey herself, the warrior of the wasteland, the hero of esports. It is Kuro. Hello, Kuro, hello.
Did you just call me warrior?
Look, I don't remember the steel line, okay? I don't. I've blocked I've blocked the steel intros out of my mind, okay? That's it. Hero of the Wasteland, savior of esports. That's it. That's it. I remember. I remember.
Shaky man. Yes, hello. Hello, I am here. And it looks like I will be casting one of my favorite players of all time.
Ooh.
The blue Protoss player representing DKZ. It is herO.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Gress Farm, we have his opponent. We have the Italian Zerg player representing Team Basilisk. It is Reynor.
Okay, so have you seen any of the matches of either herO or Reynor today? I guess you didn't get to cast them, right?
No, I did not. Did not manage to. Yeah. We were focusing Solar. We were focusing on Solar's run to the semis.
So I guess we will see what these two players will bring us today. What kind of mood are they really in? Because I mean, they're both in a good shape, like playing wise. But what kind of mood they are for?
Yeah, so I was really curious actually, because you said something at the start. You did mention that you were casting one of your favorite players. Have you casted herO yet? Has that happened?
Probably. I honestly don't remember.
Okay, fair enough. Because that's kind of a bit. I know you've casted creator before. I know we've casted creator in KungFu Cup before. That has occurred. But yeah. For those wondering,
I don't think I have casted herO. No.
Yeah.
I
was really curious because for those wondering, Kuro, she's the owner of the herO fan club on Team Liquid, of a lot of fan clubs actually, to be fair.
It's not very active.
Yeah, the Team Liquid fan clubs, they used to be more active back in the day, back when Team Liquid was more active, of course, like before like the rise of Reddit and Discord and all that stuff. But yeah, you're a very old school herO fan.
Yes, I mean, like literally, herO is one of the main reasons how I got into esports. Like the way I am today, because like I would watch tournaments, but like I didn't really follow the tournaments, and like after seeing herO in Katowice at IEM, that's when I started like watching Pro League and stuff. So literally, if not for herO, I wouldn't be where I am right now.
Yeah, that was IEM Katowice 2013. 2014. Okay. Fair. That was 2014 was the year after the winner takes all, right? The winner takes all.
No,
that was 13.
That was the winner takes all.
Oh, okay, that was 14. Okay.
14 was the winner takes all.
Oh, okay.
That was the first time I saw herO. I literally didn't know who he was, because I didn't watch like IEM Singapore or all the other stuff. I would only watch like the most important stuff. And then suddenly he popped out of nowhere for me.
You were introduced to herO where he got devastated by SOS. That was like the start. I don't think that was the start, but if you remember, that there used to be like a big rivalry between SOS and herO as well. That was quite an era.
See, the thing is, that's how I got introduced to him, but that's also how I like learned of his mentality. Where like, sure, he might have lost the tournament, but like he was still like cheerful about it. He was still like, positive towards others and stuff. And like I was just impressed by his mentality.
Yeah. I mean, there's a reason why he had the nickname the Smiling Assassin. He was always very cheerful, always smiling as well. While he killed you, he was taking pleasure in it. Or when he wasn't, of course.
He liked that nickname.
You did.
I have talked to him before. He does like that nickname.
Yeah.
Like his favorite.
It's such a shame because like a lot of those old nicknames, people don't use them anymore. Like Beyond used to be like the one-man army, and like herO was the Smiling Assassin. But yeah, it was what he was known for.
Sometimes they get used in like where you have like these EPT events, like they will have like the little like trivia under their names.
In the trivia, yeah, but the casters don't call them that anymore. That's the thing. Like.
I mean, if you do it too much, it gets old, though.
But they didn't do it at all.
Be careful about that. I mean, true.
There's a difference between not doing it at all and doing it too much. As the openers have been pretty standard, it was a Stargate opener here from herO. It was a triple Oracle opener here from herO. Of course, with this, it does allow him to safely establish his third base. So this is a very economic, very meta opener. It is the herO way of playing PvZ, the way that he, of course, did popularize and pioneer.
Yes. I might have zoned out for a second.
As the triple Oracle, they're looking for some damage here, dipping in between the bases. So far, the queen positioning has been quite good from Reynor. The spores have been thrown down, and herO hasn't found too much damage. To be fair, he also hasn't sustained too much hull damage. But yeah, both players kind of bounce off each other.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of queens bouncing between these spaces, so I don't think herO will be able to sneak in here. But, I mean, the good part is he is keeping the attention of Reynor at home, so there will be no aggression coming, and he has time for all the tech that he wants.
Yeah, exactly, as herO does as well. And I've seen herO do this on some of the other maps like Neo Humanity and on Altitude as well. Bold move to do it here, as we do have a bit of Oracle harass going on. But herO is taking to the skies already off of 3 bases. We have a Fleet Beacon and a second Stargate on the way. herO is trying to get into Sky-Toss.
Yeah, that's... I feel like it's kind of like... It went out of fashion in the past months, but yeah, apparently we are seeing Sky-Toss here, and I do wonder how Reynor will react to this, because he decided to go into roaches. I mean, that still can work if you don't have like enough on the ground, but I wonder how those styles will clash.
Yeah, so I love this from herO. So this is something that herO's been doing over the past maybe 3 weeks, maybe 4, as all the time blends together. But I love it because herO, he's basically playing with his reputation. He's known as a hyper-aggressive gateway player with Blink Stalkers, with Oracles, especially off of a triple Oracle opener. Reynor, that's why he's making roaches right now. He's expecting a Stalker push to come. But a Stalker push isn't coming because herO is doing what you least expect, and that is to tech up into Sky-Toss. The first carrier is on the way. Reynor has no idea, and he's getting ready for a push that isn't coming.
I like how that Stargate is right on the edge of the base, but because it's on the high ground, like Reynor can't see it. It's such a tease.
He can't see it, Reynor. He's droning. To be fair, he is taking up into Hive Tech. With this, he can go into Vipers, which will help, but he doesn't have any anti-air. He doesn't have a Hydrogen. He doesn't have a Spire. He is not, again, he is not expecting Sky-Toss whatsoever. And herO's done a great job at just really selling a false narrative here. 4th base is on the way. Because of this 4th, the other thing that this could be that Reynor's probably thinking is fast Colossus production, so he is getting ready for that.
You say that, but Reynor is getting Hydroden, so there will be some anti-air in this army. Obviously not, perfect, because he already committed to a lot of these ground units, a lot of these roaches and Zerglings, but there will be some defense against the carriers.
Yeah, we will have access to not the best anti-air, but as you're saying, anti-air nonetheless. So it's Reynor, he's not going to straight up die. Meanwhile, the Lings, the wall was not a wall. The carriers have now been revealed. The jig is up. Reynor knows what's going on, and he's got to make a choice. He can either make use of this army now or never, as he throws down that Spire instantly.
Yeah, and he's moving forward as well. He's crashing right into the army of herO, taking down these ground units, but the carriers are now here, and we'll see if herO can actually stop this, because this is a powerful force.
Yeah, we do see herO running back with his ground army. Meanwhile, the carriers are trying to rain down upon these roaches, but there are a lot of roaches. Reynor, he has to do damage now with them, otherwise this just would have been dead supply and dead resources.
Yeah, and the Zealots are trying to help here, and they barely overpower this army with the reinforcements, and it looks like herO will hold this, and now the ball is in his court.
Yeah, very efficient fight for herO. He does clean up the majority of those roaches. A couple of Ravagers do survive, and herO should respect that and back off. No, never mind. He reinforces with 2 more carries. He's going to keep on pushing. The Spire, again, is still not done. There's nothing to be concerned about. Even with Hydras coming out, they don't have Hydra range. They don't have Hydra speed. herO can avoid them.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you said that herO should respect that. herO does not respect that. He just goes forward. What do you mean?
Goes forward. We do have a little bit of shield damage being done here, but regardless, herO's being forced back. Meanwhile, Reynor is double expanding. Again, he needs to, get something going his way, and he's able to remax as well. herO still doesn't have the largest army, doesn't have a lot to support his carriers.
Yeah, he does not, and there's not that many carriers out yet either. There's like, he made 4, I believe. Now he's putting more in production, but there's not actually an overwhelming army yet. And with all these queens coming up as well, this is a little scary.
Yeah, hero's being caught with his pants down right now. You need like splash damage, whether it's disruptors or colossi or storm. We need something to support these carriers, and right now he has nothing. He has a couple of void rays and a couple of stalkers. He's going for a zealot run by. He's trying to force Reynor to react. Stasis trap does go off, basically a force field on this ramp. He is going to be able to buy some time, and he's getting a lot of damage done.
I like how those queens just slowly walking by. It's like, yeah, we're gonna get here. Like you just watch us come.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we do see the fleet of overlords coming in to just rain down creep on these queens so they can transfuse, but the zealots are coming in. A lot of queens are going down before the creep can really spread.
Yeah, the queens are going down. The roaches are going down. Like basically most of the ground army is gone. The overlords are covering the thing, but there's not much left.
Yeah, this creep was delayed. The transfuses didn't come into play at all, and this is a lot of dead overlords for Reynor. He invested so much into this push, and he's likewise losing so much.
Yeah, and suddenly it looks pretty good for herO after this fight. Like, most of the roaches are gone. Like, the hydras are not that high in numbers. The queens, most importantly, are gone, and now this is opportunity for herO.
Yeah, the problem is that Reynor, I wouldn't say he's all in, but he was very committed with that push. That push was designed to end the game then and there, and he didn't do anything with it. He traded with the Gateway army. He didn't kill a single carrier. We are up to 7 carriers now in favor of herO, and we are working towards that splash damage. There is that Temple Archives. It's still a ways away until we can get Storm, but hero's thinking about it.
Yeah, herO is thinking about it, but he's also not stopping the aggression, trying to poke Reynor whenever he can. And as you said, the army of carriers is starting to reach the critical number, and it doesn't look like Reynor has a response yet. He's making Corruptors right now, but they are not out yet.
Here we go. We have the Yoinks, and 1 and 2 carriers are going to be going down here. Value Viper is coming into play here for Reynor, but the force fields are thrown down, and can he get another carrier?
Yeah, he gets the third one. The Vipers were targeted for a while, but they did not go down. But there is more reinforcements coming for herO.
Yeah, the reinforcements, they do trickle in, but another Yoink comes into play, and once again, the carrier count is being stifled here, but the Blinkstalker army on the ground is doing so much, and it looks like herO is breaking through.
Yeah, the Stalker army deals with most of the Corruptors. The Zerglings will definitely help here. So actually, this fight is fairly close, but I'm not sure there's enough anti-air to deal with these carriers anymore.
Exactly. GG gets called, and herO takes game number 1. GG, very well played. Again, herO working against or using his reputation to his advantage, rushing into Skytoss again. It was the last thing that Reynor was expecting, and by the time we figured out what was going on, we saw that Reynor wasn't really able to punish it. He tried to. We saw how committed that push was with the queens, with the overlords, with the creep, but after that failed, Reynor was on the back foot.
Yeah, that was actually, I almost want to say surprising, that like with how strong that push looked, like it had basically no effect.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I do think that the Stasis Trap did a good job there at just at slowing down the army. On top of that, I do think that the creep from the Overlords, the highway that Reynor was trying to set up, I think that was late as well. If you remember, the creep was thrown down after like half the queens had died. Like the fight had already started, and the Overlords were late to the party.
The Overlords also looked a little bit lost. Like they were going to a different base at first, and then they were like, "Oh no, hold on, we're going to this ramp," and that's when they like joined with the army. So maybe it was a bit of a misrally or something. But yeah, in the end, it kind of cost Reynor the game.
Oh yeah, did cost him the game, and now we're getting into game number 2, potentially the final game of this best of 3 semifinals match. As a reminder, it's a best of 3. herO only needs 1 more to advance onto the grand finals.
Also, okay, never mind. We're gonna load into the map first. It will be Dragon Scales. That's our map number 2. And we'll see who can take this one, and if this will be a 2-0 or will Reynor bring this back. As the loading screen is very long, so probably someone is seeing.
Oh, no, we're getting into this. Meanwhile, shout out to Shiva Blaster, because I wasn't able to shout you out earlier. I think it was during the game, but thank you so much for gifting a sub to Rude Sloth in the chat. Thank you so much, Papi. Thank you so much. We always appreciate the support. And Rude Sloth, I hope you enjoy your emotes. Hope you enjoy your benefits, your replay packs as well. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, and in the meantime, we have loaded into Dragon's Case, and once again, we are looking at our blue Protoss player from South Korea. Representing DKZ Gaming, it is herO, the smiling assassin.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Italian Zerg player representing Team Basilisk down in the series, but not out. He is the European representative of this entire tournament. He's the last one. It is Reynor.
I also wanted to say I found it kind of funny when you introduced me. It's like, yeah, you're the owner of the herO fan club, right? I'm like, well, yeah, but since then I became also his like Twitch moderator and stuff. Like, things have like evolved over time. Like I mean, how do I put it? Like, the Team Liquid is not as active as it used to be in terms of like this like non-tournament threads, because tournament threads still get discussion, but like other than tournaments, like it's kind of died down a little bit. So things have changed over time, definitely.
Yeah, exactly. You know, Discord has kind of taken the role of all the community interactions of a lot of different players, a lot of different teams as well. So, yeah, time has changed. But you know, Team Liquid it still has its uses, as you were saying. A lot of people, myself included, still rely on the Team Liquid sidebar for like upcoming events and streams and stuff like that. Like, it still has its place.
Yeah, and as I said, like the tournament threads still like a decent discussion. Like it's mostly like, as you said, like the communities kind of split into different parts. But yeah, still a cool place to be.
Definitely. As we're getting into this game, and so far nothing too crazy. Hatchcast pull opener from Reynor, who was forced to take the unnatural natural from his opponent, as to be expected. Looks like Reynor is not a connoisseur of the 14 hatch or even the 15 hatch. So yeah, Reynor just forced to take a bit of an awkward base as we load into Dragon Scales, a much smaller map compared to Gresvan.
Yeah, and once again, herO starts with that Stargate, so I assume we will be seeing oracles going across the map. I don't think he will go so early into Skytos again, but I mean, it's herO we're talking about. He's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, that's the power behind this Stargate opener, is that it's very versatile. As we've seen, like, with this Stargate, it allows you to take a very safe third base, but after that, you can go into Blink and +1, you can go into Charge instead, and you can even go for different follow-ups after that. You can go for an all-in, you can go for a fourth base, you can be safe, you can be defensive, you can be tech-heavy, and we can see herO is mixing things up.
Yeah, actually going for a Void Ray first, interestingly enough. I would think that oracles would be his main thing, considering like how dynamic they are to control. I feel like herO kind of enjoys that with his stalkers and stuff, so I feel like oracles are also his thing, but looks like he's starting with a Void Ray instead and denying that scouting for Reynor.
Yeah, I really like the Void Ray first, just because if you remember, herO didn't really do too much damage with his oracles. If you remember, Reynor was doing a really great job at keeping up with his queens and denying too much of his too much worker damage. So it does make plenty of sense here, as Reynor is going for a very fast Roach Warren.
Right, he didn't kill the Overlord. He made the Void Ray, and then he didn't kill the Overlord.
Yeah, he goes for it's because he wants both. He gets the Overlord's further out first, to make sure he gets the secure kill there, and then he gets this Overlord second. If he got this Overlord first, then it gives Reynor the time to actually pull the rest of his Overlords back home. So it's just a more secure way to get more damage.
But doesn't Reynor see the Void Ray anyway? Because it literally passed by this Overlord to go to the middle of the map.
Yeah, but he beat him there. Beat him across the map.
Yeah, I guess so.
So yeah, so far a good amount of damage done here by herO. We of course are still getting into our oracles, but the oracles have been delayed. So again, it shows that herO is less concerned with doing economic damage, more concerned with making sure he's safe and secure back home. We can see here he's even using the energy as revelation, not so much for killing workers.
Yeah, I mean, if you know that your opponent is generally quite defensive, like against the oracles, if like you generally can't really find any holes in the defense, then it's probably just better to make another use of those oracles, and they do have quite a few of those as the adepts in the meantime are able to snipe a few drones.
Yeah, 2 drones go down. Meanwhile, the first Oracle is joined by a second. We're looking to dive into the into that third base. We get another 2 drones here. So over time, we are dealing a little bit of damage. So far, so good. Meanwhile, we do have herO back at home, actually working on a very early Immortal, something you don't see too often. But he's getting into early Immortal production. This is a very kind of safe way to transition.
Yeah, so I guess we won't be seeing Skytos this time, but we are seeing the Robo Bay instead, and I guess, yeah, we're gonna go for a bit more regular game, I would say. Meanwhile, is Reynor gonna go for the Roaches again?
Yeah, the Roach one is already done. We have +1 range on the way, so he's going to be going for, should be going for Lingbane Roach Ravager. But this army from herO, this is very creator-esque. This is very uncommon. He's going for a bunch of sentries, he's going for immortals, he's going to be going for a very ground-heavy push initially. Fun fact, herO, he actually didn't throw down his Twilight Council. He doesn't have Blink. Doesn't have Charge, none of that.
Yeah, I mean, who needs upgrades anyway, right? I mean, what?
Yeah, ZDFs once again shade into the mineral line. Reynor being caught out a little bit. The Lings do catch some units here in the middle of the map though, and oh, they do get 2 Stalkers at least.
Yeah, very nice catch from Reynor, but at the same time he's losing so many drones and the adepts are still not dealt with. 8 drones total falling down to these 2 adepts. That's a lot.
Oh, yeah, this is getting a little bit out of hand. Reynor in total has lost 12 workers this game, and he hasn't been able to do too much to reciprocate that damage. Meanwhile, herO goes for the Hallucinated Scout. With this, he should get eyes on the tech, and there's nothing too crazy here. We have a Baneling Nest, we have a Roach Horn as well, so Lingbane Roach Ravager is coming up from Reynor, and herO knows that. Oof.
herO tries to dive in, catches a few more drones once again, and has a scouting Phoenix as well. He's getting cannons, he's getting static defense at his bases, so he should have a bit easier time holding this, but I mean, we'll see how much Reynor will commit.
Yeah, and again, like, this is such a peculiar way to play. Again, this is very anti-herO, where you avoid Blink, you avoid Charge, you avoid your Gateway Army. It's very, it's like Creator, it's like Showtime, it's very tech-heavy with Disruptors, with Immortals, with Sentries. I think we have our second Robo soon. Okay, only 1 Robo so far.
Blink. We have the Blink. So herO could not play the game without his Blink. I mean, this is like his trademark.
Of course not, of course not. But yeah, Blink is finally on the way, but again, it's very delayed, and it shows that herO never really planned to be too aggressive earlier on, but now, like, this army's pretty terrifying. You know, he's got 2 Disruptors, he has Sentries for Force Fields as well. It is something to be respected, and yeah, Reynor, he's forced to focus on army production as a result.
Yeah, and herO is constantly scouting with these Phoenixes as well, so he has a good eye on what Reynor is up to, what kind of army he's preparing, and he's made quite a few Banelings at this point, and I wonder how this is gonna go against so many Stalkers in this army.
Yeah, so ideally the Banelings are going to be heading towards the mineral lines themselves. We have seen quite a lot of success there with that Harass, or with the Stalker army as well. Again, like, this can trade well if we do get surrounds. Like, this army is built to trade. It's built to fight on creep ideally as well. Speaking of, herO is flirting with the idea. He's dipping in whenever he can. Not really committing yet.
Yeah, he does have the Observer, so he's able to clean the creep every now and then, and he's putting Stasis behind as well, so he has a position to back off to in case that happens. At the same time, Reynor is trying to attack this forward base, but there is a Colossus actually protecting it, and it looks like the fight will happen now.
Yeah, we have the Colossus coming up, but Reynor is setting up for a full surround. Does take a Stasis Trap to the face. Novas are going to be going off. Do find some connections, but they weren't ideal.
Ooh, the Banelings get to the army, but they actually crash into the Stalkers. As we know, those are quite tanky, but how are the rest of the units doing? The Colossus is still fine, the Immortal is falling down, but the Zerg units are still here.
Yeah, the Lingbane is rolling on through, and it looks like we are trying to break on through. It looks like we barely will. It looks like Reynor is going to be able to barely clean up this army. That 1 Colossus goes down, the Disruptors as well. The 360 surround was exactly what Reynor needed, and herO needed more time to set up his shield batteries, his cannon, to really fortify this position. GG gets called, and Reynor takes game number 2.
Yeah, very, very well executed attack there by Reynor. Even despite getting, as you said, getting this stasis traps to the face, like he still had enough to overpower herO there, and he just collapsed on that army.
Yeah, exactly. Again, herO, he just needed a little bit more time to really establish himself. And I'm sure Reynor was aware of that, and he saw the opportunity, he saw the moment where he could get that surround, and now we have an ace match. We're going all the way to game number 3.
So who is gonna cheese? One of them will cheese, right? Like both of them are quite aggressive players. I mean, I say that, but didn't Reynor like say that this is like his macro era? Wasn't that a thing?
Yeah. I don't expect anyone to cheese. I mean, all-ins like over 2 bases or 3 bases, sure. I do expect to see that at some point, especially on this map. We are going to be loading into Babylon, and roach timings are very common on this map. Queen walks are very common as well. Yeah, we'll see if Reynor is going to stay true to that, if he is going to try and macro instead. Because we saw him like try to end herO before with that queen push, and we could see something similar.
I mean, the queen push didn't work too well, did it?
Yeah.
But yeah, he was trying to do so indeed, and we'll see what he's gonna come up with on Babylon. But I kind of want herO to cheese, just to make things a bit more fun.
Yeah, I don't think herO cheese. I don't think he cheeses too much in this matchup. He does against Protoss in PvP. He's willing to proxy, for example, 100%. Proxies aren't too common at this level of play though in ZVP. Not as much.
Not anymore, anyway. So I guess we're gonna have to find out what the plan is from both of our players. They are currently tied up, and the winner will go into the finals to face, who was it?
Kuro.
Okay, Kuro took that game. Okay. So we have one of each race right now. We have the Protoss, we have the Zerg, and we have the Terran in the finals.
We do. We have full representation for now, but that is about to change as we are here in the ace match. We're in game number 3, and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Babylon, we have the South Korean Protoss player representing KranKy Z Gaming. It is herO.
And in the bottom right corner of Babylon, we have our Blue Zerg player representing Basilisk and Italy. It is Reynor. They have also switched colors.
Let's go. We are here.
Funera players.
We're here. We're in game number 3. And Reynor once again opts not to go for the earlier hatchery. Still hatch first, but no 14 hatch or 15 hatch. So herO is going to be able to get here in time and does force the unnatural natural.
Yeah, so looks like Reynor will have to take this forward base. Not part of the 15 hatch school of thought, I guess. And
Feels...
yeah, let's see where both our players are going with this. No cheesing, unfortunately, but we'll see if I mean, so far every game herO shows us something like a completely different like composition, while Reynor is going for those like roach kind of builds, and I mean they do vary a little bit, but it seems to be his go right now.
Yeah, Reynor has. Yeah, Reynor has been very reactive. He's been playing pretty standard, all things considered, every single game so far. Like, nothing too wild out of Reynor. That's why, like, I myself as well am also looking at herO to see what he brings to the table. Because, as you mentioned, it isn't just that herO has been varying things up. He's also been playing very unorthodox. Every game so far, this isn't standard play from herO. He isn't playing, you know, straight up macro games. No, he's been cheeky in one way or another. He's been cutting corners in one way or another. So yeah, it's been really interesting to see herO have fun. I don't know if he's playing like this because he feels like in a straight up game he can't take on Reynor, or if he's just enjoying himself.
Honestly, I think that's just herO. He just is like this.
Yeah, well, I mean,
like, I feel like he would play like that versus Dark as well, like versus any other Zerg really.
Kind of. I think against Dark it's different because they play against each other so much. Like, there's like
they have he knows too much.
Yeah, they have their own meta, like Dark and herO, which is why I always love casting them. But like, if herO goes up against like Solar or like Ragnarok, herO plays a little more standard against them. I will say. But yeah, against Reynor, we'll see. We'll see if this becomes a bit of a trend. As once again, Stargate opener.
Yeah, well, as you said, that Stargate opener is quite versatile and it can lead to different things. And we had an example of that in the previous 2 games. But we'll see what kind of path herO chooses this time, as first of his adepts is going across the map.
Okay, he's dipping out across the map. This is always a risky thing to do because you can't really afford to lose your first adept. It's really crucial in defending, especially defending your third base. But he's just using it to scout, to get an eye on things, to try to poke in and out wherever he can. Does shade preemptively to make sure he can escape. And he is looking for at least one drone.
And he did get one. He was trying to get 2, but it barely escaped his reach. And still, one drone is pretty good for a scouting adept, and it will go home safely.
Yeah, very nicely done here by herO. Meanwhile, behind this, we do have the Oracle going across the map. So no Void Ray opener this time. We have the Oracle instead, and yeah, herO is going to be staying here at least until the second Oracle comes out, just to make sure he gets his third base up and running, making sure that Reynor isn't able to throw a wrench in the works and deny it with a Ling counterattack or anything like that.
Yeah, but once again, Reynor does not stop the Queen production, so he should have enough to defend from these Oracles. So I assume once again there will be more a utility kinda unit, but we'll see where he goes from there, because now we're getting into our Twilight Council.
Yeah, so we are going for a double Oracle opener into a faster Twilight Council and Forge, so herO is going to be skipping his third Oracle and only going to be staying on 2. He's looking for some damage, but we have 2 Queens at the third base. We have 3 Queens in the main. These Oracles don't find too much damage, and again, I do think it's wise that we didn't make a third Oracle, and we're transitioning faster as well, just because of Reynor's Queen positioning.
Yeah, and like, herO has already seen that in previous 2 games, so he knows that he's probably not gonna get much with these Oracles. They still pose a threat, so Reynor has to pay attention to them, but they're not actually going for much damage at all.
Yeah, exactly. They're looking for it, definitely, but we can see how careful herO is being. Oh, he takes a bit of hold damage. He goes for the station trap here at the natural base, but Reynor is able to react in time. Should only lose 1 drone to this, or 1 Ling, or nothing.
Not even, because of the score, he actually can see the stasis trap, so he can just deny it completely.
Nicely done. Meanwhile, we have a station trap into the main base. Again, forcing some lost mine time. Does get a Queen. Not too bad, as well as a drone.
Yeah, it's very nice. I mean, it's not a huge damage, but it's always something, like, you know, other than nothing.
Definitely. Meanwhile, Reynor, he dives into the main base. He gets confirmation of the Forge and Twilight Council researching. Again, this is the most standard we've seen of herO so far this entire series. It's double Oracle opener into +1 and blink. This is what he is known for. Well, this is what he popularized.
Yeah. I mean, I have noticed that once a herO build becomes popular, herO stops playing it. It's like he's a hipster like that, so it is a little surprising to see him like still go for that style, but I mean, it is his.
I mean, it's meta for a reason. It's what everyone does for a reason. It's
Sure.
pretty good. And herO can use it like no other, as the Oracles are going to be threatening the main base. Once again, keeping an eye on things. They do actually spot the lair as it is being researched. Oh, we do have an ambitious stasis trap being thrown down. Isn't going to quite connect with too much.
Yeah, it almost did, but Reynor moved away in time, and it looks like these stasis traps will not get much done, but once again, they keep attention of Reynor at home and give more time to herO to prepare his attack.
Oh, and this is dangerous. herO is setting up for a 3-way soul in. We have, I believe, 7 gates back at home. No, we have 8 gates back at home, and that is a 9th gate across the map. herO is going to be looking to not take a 4th, not take his gases at his third base. He's warping in nothing but stalkers. He wants to try to end the game here and now with this push.
Yeah, and I'm actually not sure if Reynor is ready for it. He only just started the Roach production. They will be here, but they're not here yet. The Queens are here though, and they will be fighting these Stalkers together with the Zergis, but ooh, a big stasis trap goes off.
A massive stasis trap goes off. The Queens get trapped here by these force fields, and again, herO is looking to just keep on warping in. He has broken the 4th base, but he wants more than just a 4th. He actually avoids the hatchery itself. He dives on top of the army, using the hatchery here to just provide some more service area for the Stalkers.
Yeah, the Zerglings cannot surround them right there. The warp goes down though to the Queens, so there are no more reinforcements. There's only the reinforcement point, but it's all the way on the north.
Yeah, exactly, and herO is being forced back. He got the base, but he's losing a lot here in the retreat, and you can't afford to lose too much just because we are so committed. Behind this, he throws down a 4th base. He is probing, he is working on charge, he is transitioning.
Yeah, I don't think that was the ideal for herO there to lose that warp piece so early. He was trying to tuck it behind the Stalkers, but the Queens were able to target it down, and now his fourth base is in danger.
Yeah, exactly. He does force a cancel in the fourth. Again, it just goes to show how much momentum Reynor has right now. He's sending his entire army across the map. He knows that right now herO is maybe at his weakest, but that's still a lot of Stalkers warped in by herO. He immediately rebuilds that prism, and he's looking to push out once again.
Yeah, herO's weakness apparently is still pretty strong, and the Oracle barely survives. But the Stalkers are once again moving across the map. There is an observer here as well, so they will be able to clean that creep. And now even the Zealots are helping out. The charge is not quite ready yet, but it will be soon.
Yeah, exactly. Stack defense is on the way. It looks like the Lings are going to be hunted down by herO. He does catch them. He's going to be able to completely shut them down as a result. But things are going to be settling down, and now Reynor can focus on establishing his bases. He has rebuilt his fourth, but this is at a pretty similar time of herO's fourth. Something you don't see too often. herO is actually ahead in the workers right now.
Yeah, and he's still being aggressive across the map as well. These Stalkers are once again on the offensive, and they are trying to snipe that fourth base of Reynor. There are Roaches now here, but there's not that many of them. It's mostly Ravagers.
Yeah, exactly. Mostly Ravagers. We have a couple of Banelings. We have a couple of Lings as well. The Force Field, sorry, the Blinks are still looking pretty damn good. Behind this, herO throws down a Dark Shrine. He's commencing Immortal production as well, just to make sure he's safe at home. He's not racing into Disruptors or Colossus or anything like that. Making sure he has a decent, solid army against the Roaches.
It looks like Reynor was about to destroy that proxy location, but the Zealots of herO actually distracted the army, and the warping point is still safe for herO. He's just warping more Zealots there.
Even more Zealots being warped in as we speak. Reynor expanding towards the south, going for his fifth base. A very late fifth, to be honest. He's been on equal bases here with his opponent for a little bit too long. We do see the Dark Shrine about to finish up as well, and DTs, there's a little potential with those. We have spores everywhere, but just because there are spores doesn't mean that DTs can't find damage.
I mean, the thing about it is that, like, seeing them is only half of it, right? Like, you also need the units prepared to actually take them down. And with Reynor focusing on the defense on the front, he may just not be able to notice what's going on in his bases.
Yeah, I mean, while the Banelings were waiting for the Zealot Rambe, the Zealot Rambe gets completely cleaned up at the same time on the left-hand side. It looks like herO is being forced back as well. Reynor is all over this.
The Immortal gets barely saved by that War Priest. I was afraid that herO is gonna leave it alone, but at the same time the proxy location falls down, so that's the end of the Zealot run-bys for the time being.
Yeah, Reynor has maxed out on Lingbane, Roach Ravager. Hive is done. We have Adrenal on the way. Reynor, he's looking quite solid here and soon looking to be active. He's looking for one big fight and then immediately counterattack as the fifth is denied.
Yeah, the fifth is denied, but the drone does survive and it will be remade as herO just moves back to his base, and he will have to be defensive right now because Reynor is ready to attack.
Yeah, exactly. He has maxed out Lingbane, getting ready to lay siege on the bases of a herO. The Banelings are rolling on in. At the same time, we have a Baneling run by the right-hand side, but the Archons are in position. The Banelings go down.
Yeah, the Rambai does nothing, but at the same time, the main army is now attacking. The single Immortal will be sniped down, and the Stalkers alone are having a little bit of trouble holding this.
Yeah, the Banelings, they get into the mineral line, and every probe is going to be going down here for herO at his third. On top of that, the Roaches are breaking on through. Zealots coming from behind, and it looks like herO is going to be able to force this back, but he lost a lot at home.
Yeah, 16 pros go down to this attack. At the same time, though, the Zealots are doing a lot of damage, and there are no reinforcements here for Reynor. Only now a few Roaches pop up, but the drones will be going down.
Yeah, 4 drones go down, a couple of Roaches as well, but it looks like the reinforcements should be able to clean this up. The Queen barely survives as well. Zealot Rambai was nice, but it just didn't really find the damage that herO needed as herO plummets in supply.
Yeah, and now that the War Priest is trapped in the base of the Zerg as well, he's trying to find a way to escape, and it will have to be recalled, so the recall won't be available for the Protoss army.
Yeah, exactly. We can see herO trying to muster up a force. Still very down when it comes to his economy right now. He's down with it when it comes to his army. Like, it takes a long time for Protoss to rebuild. He's trying to, though. He's desperately trying to as he runs into the army of Reynor.
Yeah, once again, they meet each other in the middle, and Reynor's army looks quite powerful, but the units of herO are also pretty good. He has the Archons, he has the Immortals. The Lingbane, though, is running straight into the 4 base.
Oh, yeah, we're going to be able to react, but the probes are all going to go down. 18 workers do fall. Reynor already does more than enough damage, but he wants to keep on pushing. He's picking apart the army of herO at the same time. herO goes for a Zealot run by, but he's running into Queens, he's running into Lings. These Zealots just aren't doing enough.
Yeah, he may take down a Queen or two, but that's really no damage done to Reynor at this point. And the best it does, it distracts Reynor, but it doesn't really do much else. And now herO decides to attack instead, but I'm not sure if he can do it with his army, to be honest.
herO's all in. He's not making any workers. He doesn't have an economy. What you see is what you get. herO's going to try to win the game with what he has. And he's down in army supply. He's going for a big warp in. He does have a lot of sentries available. Force fields can help him, but the banelings are rolling in. Up.
Yeah, the force fields are there, but most of the banelings go through. They do crash into the stalkers, but still, this is overwhelming army from the Zerg, and it looks like Reynor will be winning this battle.
Yeah, Reynor, he completely shuts this down, and with the death of that army, that is the death of herO. He has nothing left. He has no economy. He was all in. He has 2 immortals to his name, as well as a Warp Prism. And that's it. GG gets called. Reynor will take the series 2-1, advancing on to the grand finals.
Yeah, we will have those finals. It will be Europe versus Korea. It will be Italy versus South Korea. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. Reynor definitely in shape.
Yeah, GG, well played. herO mixing things up throughout the course of this series. Here at the end, playing a lot more standard in a way. I say standard. So it was a really rough transition for him because that 9 gates off of 3 gates is pretty all in. And he needed to do more than just kill a hatchery. Remember, he killed a hatchery, he traded with the army, and then things took a turn for the worse when he lost that War Prism.
Yeah, it was really that key moment. Like he was like the attack was doing well, but without that War Prism to reinforce to back up those units, like the attack was really stopped right there.
Exactly, and there was so much riding on that attack because of that build specifically. It had to snowball, it had to do more critical damage in favor of herO, and it just did not. And with that, we have our finalists. We have a best of 5 ZVT.